You're convinced now this was an effort to do a favor for Donald Trump in the last few months of the presidential race?
Unfortunately, yes.
Was the National Enquirer acting as the arm of Donald Trump and Michael Cohen? And if so, is there something wrong with that?
We strongly suspect they were.
Karen McDougal and her lawyer over the years discussing what has all come out. We're now joined, as we get these new jury questions for the first time today, by former U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, David Kelly. That is, of course, the district that also handled Michael Cohen's prosecution under different leadership. Full disclosure, my former boss. You've prosecuted a lot of cases. This is a big case. What do you think when you hear these jury questions?
Well, look, I think it's always kind of a fun jury game if you're not one of the lawyers involved. A fun parlor game to try to figure what this means, you know. And you hit the nail on the head a few minutes ago. This could be one juror. It could be a bunch of jurors. My guess at this early stage that there's a bunch of jurors that are zeroing in right on the prosecution's case. Because if they believe Pecker, you know, we talked earlier, you know, at the earlier stage of this trial, if they believe this story Pecker laid out, that's really the heart of this conspiracy. And going back and hearing that testimony, I think if I'm a prosecutor, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
And then bringing in Cohen into it and kind of comparing it instead of saying leaving Cohen to the end. I think they're moving along at a pretty good pace here.
You think they're moving at a good pace. You also are seeing that, as you said, careful caution. Some of them, we don't have any unanimity on the questions, right? But some of them got the point that David Pecker, who likes Trump, who stuck his neck out for him, who's done things for him, still back then called his lawyer and said, hey, so he's going to reimburse me for all this campaign plotting stuff we're doing. And his lawyer said, do not do that. As I mentioned, there's been many, many days of evidence. Zeroing in on that shows that somebody on the jury understands that's bad for Trump.
Well, yeah, because they get the story. The whole story, and the felony here comes down to the campaign plot. And I think that this shows that somebody or some people, or all of them, or most of them, or how many we don't know, get it.
Trump Tower meeting is not itself a crime, right?
No.
They met, and they talk about this stuff, right? Burying stories, well, I mentioned...
I mean, it's part of the conspiracy.
Right, part of the conspiracy. But you know, if you stopped on that day and no other action occurred,
no,
right,
it's fine.
We wouldn't be here.
Right.
Burying stories is not something that most media do on a regular basis. Sometimes we learn something and don't run it out of fairness. But you don't just take orders from some billionaire or some politician and say, oh, we're going to help you hide that. The Pecker and Cohen testimony about the Trump Tower meeting, what is that likely to be for the jury's benefit, that they want both? They didn't say, oh, I just want Cohen's view of it, I want Pecker's. They want both.
I think the first thing, they go to Pecker and they get the whole story. There's corroboration out there, some of which is Cohen. And if they can believe Pecker, and then they bring in Cohen and Pecker's testimony kind of interlocked, then they're going to go a lot with Cohen. They're not going to reject Cohen out of hand, I think. But, you know, it's tea leaves.
It is tea leaves, but it's 4 tea leaves. It's not 1 tea leaf.
No, right.
Then they also, as I told viewers, asked, they might want the jury instructions again, and they're figuring out, well, do you want the whole hour? Do you want a part of it? Do you read anything to them wanting that this early? I mean, sometimes people want that later, no?
True. You never really know when you're going to get the jury instruction request from a jury. You don't. Sometimes you don't. I think up front, it's probably a good sign that they're moving through this pretty quickly, and it'll be interesting to see if they ask for a particular portion of the jury charge as opposed to the whole thing.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know. Asking it early on.
Could be nothing.
It could be.
Yeah,
anything.
that's fair. That's fair. We look at the jury's makeup, and there's all these things we protect about them, including obviously their identities. But they were asked about how they get news. This is who they are, and this is their professions. When you look at how they got their news, okay, many of them are varied. Some people kind of said Google, which basically means you don't check the news that often. That's fine. No offense taken, David. But some of them say, like Juror 2, oh, he goes to Trump's Truth Social, okay? Juror 1 says he clicks around. He does MSNBC, full disclosure, we'll take it or leave it, Fox News, New York Times. looking at this and then thinking about these questions, can you imagine the back and forth? Do you imagine maybe the Truth Social or the Fox person saying, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that it was a full, because a lot of people talk like this nowadays, David. I run into this myself sometimes. People, it's not that they have a fact to rebut you with. They just say, oh, I don't know. I don't know there was really a meeting. And the other jurors were supposed to be respectful. I would say, and generally, day one, we believe that everyone's on their best behavior. But the other ones go, okay, hey, we'll give it to you. We'll give you the testimony.
Well, I tell you, I spend a lot of time watching jurors step into the jury box for voir dire and looking to see if they have the Daily News or the New York Times or the Post or and trying to read something into that. And I think at the end of the day, I trust that a juror is going to really listen to the evidence and put their own biases aside and decide on the facts of the case. And I think that all the jurors together really help each other do that, and focus and talk about.
I mean, up to a point, David. If they're deep OAN, or you know what I mean? If they're only into I met someone now I'm really going off topic. I met someone at a cocktail party once. They didn't know my job. So this was really random, and said, oh, what are your hobbies? I said, oh, I like music. What are yours? It's like normal chatter. They said, I'm really into conspiracy theories. I said, oh, like which ones? They said, the classics, JFK, moon landing faked. But they were dead serious. I mean, at a certain point, the jury instructions require a certain level of information literacy that some people refuse to use.
Right, and that's what the voir dire is designed to root out. And, theoretically, that should have come to the surface through the questions they asked on voir dire. So if you have a conspiracy theorist in there, then you might be talking about a hung jury.